you are in a war. You are in a spiritual war for you and for your loved ones and for the people around you. And it is so easy when confronted or attacked to wage war the way that the world does. When somebody says, no, you're wrong, you want to say, no, you're wrong back. Because you've seen God, you've seen his goodness, you know that this is the truth. And so you say, no, this is the truth. So your heart's in the right place and you're not wrong because that's true. But God has a better way to go about it. Ephesians, Paul writes, we battle not against, or we wage war not against flesh and blood, but against the dark forces, the spiritual forces of evil in this world, the demons, the rulers and the authorities of this world that cause all this chaos. And what does it look like to wage war against flesh when he's talking about that, very practically? Well, that either means punching somebody in the face, like literal physical violence, or that would be the way that the world does it, the way that our flesh desires to wage war of, no, I'm right, you're wrong, right? And that's not helpful because that just further roots people into their already held positions. And so instead, he says, your enemy, focus on your enemy being those evil forces, that demonic oppression. And so when somebody is aggravated with you, you love them, right? So rather than saying, no, you're wrong, you're saying, okay, I don't want to be confrontational and have this argument. Like, yeah, I believe differently, but I'm not going to beat you up verbally just because you're doing it to me. And you see how you return peace to their violence. And in doing that, you cause so much more good because rather than them having an argument and saying, okay, well, I'm opposed to that person, they say, well, that person loved me and was willing to take that attack of an argument and saying that they're wrong and just let it roll right off their back and be like, okay, that's fine. You can believe that. But first, I want to love you. I want to know you. Where are you suffering right now? Can I buy you something or how's your family, right? Like that is so much more important than arguing about correct theology because you see how that leads so much more to trusting God. If anything, in an argument like that, the goal is to lead somebody to seeing that they themselves are sinful, seeing that they have lied and they have stolen if somebody does not have Jesus in their life, because they can be like, wow, I do need something outside of myself. And that is the doorway. And so evangelism is hard because a lot of times you may not see the fruit of that. You may not see how God used what you did to start a whole chain reaction in that person's life, but you have to trust that God's in control. And this also applies to just relationships with my close family members who are saved. When I want to help them, but telling them no, that's wrong is not as helpful as just loving them and living at peace near them.